Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Saisha. This is Amok Kaiva. If you are new to my channel, please like, share, comment and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. In the last few videos, we were understanding the linear algorithms like linear and logistic regression. We even saw the practical implementation of those two algorithms in R. In today's video, we will be taking a leap from linear algorithms to the non-linear algorithms, wherein we will start with the decision tree. As decision tree is a key important algorithm, we have divided it into two parts. In the first part, that is today's video, we will start understanding the key definition of decision tree, types of decision tree, impurities in the data set, some of the most important terminologies which are useful in building decision tree, a practical example how we can visualize a decision tree. Thereafter, we will conclude the video with advantages and disadvantages of decision tree. In the part 2 of the video, we will take a deep dive into the decision tree concepts and implement with examples. Decision tree is a non-parametric supervised learning method which is used for both classification and regression. Here, supervised learning means we have a target attribute during training. The main goal of decision tree is to predict the values of the target variable, which we learn from the decision rules inferred from the data features, that is the independent attributes during training. There are two types of decision tree. One, categorical or classification type of decision tree, continuous or regression type of decision tree. Example for categorical type of decision tree is students will play cricket or not. Here we have classification for yes or no. Similarly, what is the prediction for the number of COVID-19 cases? That is a continuous variable. Those kind of algorithms are called regression type of decision tree. As we have understood the concepts of decision tree definitions, let us understand the impurities in data. This impurity concept we will be utilizing when we are calculating the information gain for each of the attribute. Now let us understand different types of impurity. Very impure. Here you can observe both the positive and the negative cases are heavily indulged. Less impure. In this case, you can observe that one of the class, either positive or negative, is highly dominating than the other. In minimum impurity, you can observe only one class and the other class is missing. Now, let us understand the important terminologies which we will utilize in building decision tree. Let us understand key important terminologies which we will be utilizing in building decision tree. Root node. Root node represents the entire population or a subsection of a population which further gets divided into homogeneous sets or minimum impurity sets. Splitting. Splitting is a process wherein you divide nodes into further subnodes. Decision node. When a subnode splits into further subnodes, the initial subnode is called as decision node. leaf bar terminal node. Nodes which cannot be divided further are called as leaf bar terminal node. Here, the target attribute value is always represented in leaf bar terminal node. Branch bar subtree. A subsection of the entire tree can be represented as branch bar subtree. As you can observe in the pictorial representation, the area which is marked with the blue can be called as branch or subtree. Parent bar child node. A node which gets divided into subnodes. Here, this node is represented as parent node and this subnode is represented as child node. As we have understood the key terminologies, let us visualize the tree building process with an example.
Let us understand a tree-based example. To understand this, let us consider a data set. In this data set, you can observe we have 10 observations, 3 independent attributes and 1 target attribute. Target attribute specifies here whether to sail the boat or not. Let us convert this data into tree. When we convert this data into tree, it can be visualized as this, wherein you can observe some of the decision rules. For example, if the outlook is sunny, then you should sail the boat. And if outlook is rainy and the company is no, then you should not sail the boat. Such kind of rules can be extracted from this tree. If we get a new test data for prediction of the sale, for example, here we have got 2 observations as a test data. Now let us map this test data to our tree based rules. If the outlook is sunny, then you can observe that we should sail the boat. Hence, the output would be yes. Similarly, if the outlook is rainy and the company is big and the sailboat is small, you can observe output rainy, company is big, then once again we should sail the boat. This is how a tree-based algorithm helps us to map our test data. Here you can observe only 10 observations. If the observations are in lakhs, then mapping of the data to the tree is bit difficult. That time, entropy and information gain helps us to resolve our impediment. In the next video, we will understand about those concepts. As we have understood the tree-based example and decision tree concepts, let us now speak about the advantages and disadvantages of decision tree.
Let us understand why we should use decision tree or the advantages of decision tree. Less data cleaning is required, as the decision tree is not influenced by outliers or missing values to certain degree of extent. Hence, we do not require cleaning of data. Easy to understand, interpret and visualize. In the previous example discussed, you can observe that the data set can be converted into decision rules with tree-based structure, which helps us to predict our test cases. Hence, this model is easy to understand, interpret and visualize. Useful in data exploration. As you can observe, the decision tree helps us to identify the most critical or most important attributes. Similarly, it also helps us to understand the relationship between the independent attributes and the target attributes. Hence, it is useful in data exploration. Accountable for the reliability of the model. As decision tree can be validated using simple statistical tests. Hence, it is reliable model. In the next video, we will also observe that during the post-pruning technique, we will utilize chi-square test to validate the decision tree. Data type is not a constraint, as we can use both the numerical data and the categorical data as an independent attribute. Hence, the data is not a constraint. We have understood the advantages of decision tree. Now, let us explore some of the disadvantages of decision tree. As we have understood the advantages of decision tree, let us explore some of the disadvantages. Overfitting. This is the practical implication or the impediment of a decision tree. We will understand in the next video some of the techniques like post-pruning and pre-pruning, which will help us to overcome this issue, that is overfitting. Unstable trees. If there is a small change or small variation in the input data, then all the trees are redefined and rebuilt. This characteristics is also known as high variance, which can be seen in decision tree. Biased trees. If our target attribute is having a class imbalance, then we will generate a biased trees. Hence, whenever we are providing an input to the decision tree, we should balance the data. Not fit for continuous variables. As there is loss of information in continuous variables as compared to categorical variables, hence it is not recommended for utilizing continuous variables in decision tree. These were some of the disadvantages of decision tree. If you like my video, please like, share, comment and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.